Hey, Stephen here from Hands on Gourmet. You know how music evokes memory? Well, for me, so does food. And the other day when Fontaine came in with his cake, it kind of took me back to another place and time.
A happier time.
A happy, well, just
happy.
another time.
Yeah.
Another time. It's always happy. So anyway, this cake really took me back to a time when I was thinking about, lemon pound cakes and streusel and all kinds of great things my grandmother used to make. And Fontaine is going to tell a really wonderful story about this particular cake and how it came to be. So, Fontaine, take it from here.
This is a Queen Elizabeth cake, and I got this recipe from my landlord, who is the coolest landlord in the whole world. She had us all over for dinner. We had a huge, massive feast, delicious Mexican food. It was so tasty, we ate so much. And then she brought this out for dessert, and it was amazing. Best thing ever. I brought in leftovers to work, and all of us here at Hands on Gourmet loved it. So we got the recipe from her. I've recreated this one, and then we are going to talk about how to make it. The first thing to do in the very start of all this is to soak your dates in hot water so they soften. So I've already started doing that. It's a cup of dates and a cup of water, warm water, just soaking.
And fresh or dry, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, because they'll reconstitute either way.
Okay, yep, it's up, all right.
So you would just take the pit out of the date and chop it up nice and small, and then they look like that. We're gonna start with creaming the butter. You want room temperature butter to go in your mixer so that it gets soft really easily. Get it all in there. Put it on low. Oh, I washed my hands.
Jeez, Fontaine.
Thanks for checking. Safety first. And then you just add in the sugar as this is going. Sugar and butter are incorporated. We're gonna add in an egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. That's all nicely incorporated. We're gonna go over and sift together our dry ingredients. So we've got a bowl. Just dump everything right in here. This is a cup and a half of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Sorry, half a teaspoon of salt, that's what it is. So add in about half of the mixture. And then let it go. Okay. Other part of the dry ingredients we love.
We love dry ingredients. Because we just love.
We love everything. Okay. And then, so this mixture looks a little bit more dry than you might be used to for a cake batter, but it's going to be okay because we'll put in the dates that have been macerating, not with all their liquid, but with enough of it to
Give it more moisture.
Yeah, exactly. So pour out most of the liquid from your dates into whatever kind of receptacle you want. Great. And then add those into your batter. We have a half a cup of walnuts that are also going to go in here. And then mix this all up. It's looking a little bit more like batter. Great. That's looking good. So you're just going to get it right into the pan, right in the center, and we'll spread it out. So that's pretty much good. It's just about an even layer all over. Yes, I have washed my hands.
Those fingers again.
Thank you. Thank you for asking.
What would Jack the Germ say? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to take it and put it in the oven, 350 degrees. Because of the size of this pan, since the cake is a little shallow, we're just going to start cooking it for 20 minutes, check it, and then maybe another 5. If your pan is smaller and then the cake is thicker, you can probably go 25 to 30 minutes on it. So set the timer, and we'll come back to check on it. So right before your cake is about to come out of the oven, maybe 10 minutes before, you can start making the sauce. For the top of it, it's a quarter cup of butter, 5 tablespoons of brown sugar, a half a cup of cream. It's really good for you. And a half a cup of coconut flakes. Combine all of it and let that start bubbling up for about 3 minutes. Just let it rock, do its thing. And then when the cake is warm, we're gonna pull it out of the oven and pour this over the top. And then back under the broiler. Cake's out of the oven. It's looking awesome. I took it out of the pan that it was baking in and flipped it over onto this parchment-lined baking sheet, just because I think for presentation purposes that looks nicer. But you can just pour the sauce directly over the cake in the baking pan. But I'm a presentation girl. So we have our delicious sauce here. Our brown sugar, butter, coconut, and cream together. And we're just gonna pour this right over the top of the cake. Pour it all on there. And then spread it out evenly. Delicious. And then I have the oven set to broil. And we'll put it back in for another 2 minutes. So broiling happens really quickly, so you want to keep an eye on this. We're gonna take a look in, and you'll see that it's starting to bubble really nicely. Pull it out, and it's starting to brown on the top. You want kind of even browning in there. So we're gonna let it go for another minute. Okay,
Okay,
it's ready.
I'm back.
Very
Wow.
excited about it.
So, wow, look at that.
So it's nice and
Caramelization.
hot, caramelized on the top. We're gonna set it down here to cool. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Queen Anne cake. Elizabeth, rather. Queen
Wow.
Elizabeth cake.
Oh, so lovely. It's so lovely.
Thank
Rosa.
you.
Well, thank you. Thank
So
you.
glad you could join
In
us.
part two, she's going to explain why it became the Queen Elizabeth cake and
Maybe.
the revolution of 1776.